Thank you for staying with us. Now we're changing our panel. We have with us now Jude Egbas. He is the online editor for Polls.ng. Thanks for joining us on the program.
Nice to be here.
Of course, and we also have Ibukun Adeni, a techpreneur as well as a politician. Thanks as well for joining us. So, I mean, of course, before I begin, I'll first of all say, happy independence.
Yeah.
Happy independence.
Yeah, we're happy.
But
Yeah, I mean.
I know. So we're looking at the role of youth, shaping Nigeria's movement, 58 years, moving forward. Now, I mean, you were in Oshun, you observed the elections. So what role would you say the youths played rather in moving from what we've seen in previous elections? Did youths participate to an extent where you can say that things are changing?
Yeah, I think to an extent, plaudits to the youth from what I saw in Oshun, especially in terms of using technology, using smartphones to be able to relay results real time. That leaves very little room for manipulation. But then we also have this set of youths who are hired hands of the politicians, who are thugs, who are used in rural areas to buy PVCs and stuff like that. So it's neither here nor there for young people. I mean, the bad habits, old habits die hard, like they say. So we haven't made much progress in terms of moving young people to, because of poverty, moving young people to a level where they can begin to put out the true values of democracy.
Davido played that role because there's a personal relationship between, him and the candidates whom he supported during the elections. Would you prefer to see entertainers, supporting candidates not based on personal relationship, but maybe based on their manifestos? Do you see that happening in the nearest future?
Now, politics for me is about interest, right? And I feel like what the impact of Davido made in the election is going to continue to, unravel. People are beginning to wake up, and see the impact that a celebrity can have. Now, the entertainment sector is one of the few sectors in Nigeria that is mostly private driven, and it has in the past, let's say 10 years, it has experienced, let's say, the largest growth rates of all sectors. So it's a wake-up call for a lot of entertainers that have this influence, to also participate, because the more everybody from any from diverse industries or whatever, the more we participate, yeah, the more we can create a more decentralized economy where, and the more we can, get government intervention into all these industries. And, I would like to see an entertainer as a governor. Maybe we'll create a new entertainment hub in the state. Maybe we'll be able to put resources into an industry that has a very, very high return on investment that the current government ignores. So those are things that I would like to see. I would like to see people in tech participate. I want to see a software engineer become governor, because that worldwide software engineering is has the highest return on investment. So we need everybody in every sector to get involved so we can have a decentralized government.
Yeah, so I mean, talking about what you want to see, I mean, just not too long ago, former President Goodluck Jonathan talked about how he needed young Nigerians that can take Nigeria to the moon. Speaking how figuratively or I mean in real terms. So just in wrapping up, do you think the young Nigerians we have now can take Nigeria to the moon?
I think we can do everything we want to do as young people. There's no limit. If we set our minds to do stuff, we'll get it done. The only hindrance I see, especially in the political scene, is that we have for far too long we've had this a cabal, is a set of people who control the political space and who have infiltrated, who have taken over or who are in control of the two major political parties in APC and PDP. Now, it's very difficult at this time for young people to infiltrate these two major political parties and begin to make decisions or begin to get to a point where they can be elected into office. So that's the biggest challenge I see. And right now, with the money those two have, it's very difficult for any other political party to play at their level because they have too much cash. So we are running a cash-based political system, and it's difficult for young people who have ideas but who don't have billions of naira to to participate in the
to
process.
invest.
Yeah, to really get in there and make a difference. So that's the biggest hindrance I see.
What about you? What do you see?
What I see is, I hope the youths can use what they have to get what they want, because
The numbers, I guess.
yes, not just the numbers, the intellectual capacity, like as a young Nigerian from that has a 21st century education, I understand some certain things. I understand how things should work in the 21st century that somebody that is 70 years old might not understand, so that can even help me to create a more effective campaign. So for instance, when we are getting involved, we don't always have to get involved in, we don't initially have to get involved in the buying politics. You can get involved how Davido got involved, using what you have to get what he wants. Now, Davido used what he had to get what it was. Now, people are talking about him even being on the PDP campaign organization committee and all that. You can start from that. You can help, you can get involved, infiltrate these parties, right? Help them use what you have, create more effective campaigns, find the candidate, prove what you have, prove what you know, right? Use data, use all sorts of things to create a more effective campaign, and you will shine, and the time will come where we'll be able to gather the financial strength and face the old guys out, and we'll be able to. But if we don't participate now, the sorry is just, I don't know how we're going to.
It'll be a sorry case.
It'll be a sorry case. Yes.
Well, I mean, we're moving forward, so hopefully that sorry case will never be, and hopefully, this group of young Nigerians will take indeed Nigeria, to the moon. But I have to say thank you for joining us on the program, Editor Pulse NG,
Nice to be here.
Jude Egbas, as well as techpreneur and politician Ibukun Adini. Thanks both of you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much for having us.
Well, that's where we are. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Please stay with us.
This week's top 5 videos begins with the shutdown of operations at the General Aviation Terminal of Lagos Airport.
I think the essence is to stop them from functioning, and we have succeeded to stop them from issuing tickets, from issuing boarding pass. You could see passengers moving around, and for me, workers are supposed to stay back. This is a country that you have to now enforce, strive for people to know that this is not a country that is working. And as far as we are concerned, we are registered success here. And thank God you saw also in Arik. Well, the message we are sending is to express the dissatisfaction of Nigerian workers.
Unfortunately, as a returning officer, it's not possible to declare any party as the clear winner of this election.
Following in 4th place is the declaration by the returning officer in the Osun governorship election that a winner cannot be announced in the first round of election.
The Independent National Electoral Commission will announce the date when another ballot will take place. Thank you. I hereby declare the election inconclusive. I, Joseph Adiola Fuagbe, hereby declare this election inconclusive. Thank you.
I don't want the APC to know about what we have on them.
The candidate of the PDP, Senator Ademola Adeleke, in the Osun election comes in 3rd, with the claim that the election was rigged, adding that he has proof.
I am more than confident, 100% confidence. I'll be bringing it one by one. Bagam. Bagam. They are so scared right now. They couldn't even celebrate. God is told they stole our mandate. They stole the people of Osun mandate.
Coming in 2nd in the video of senior military officers paying tribute to a pilot of the Nigeria Air Force who died during a training procedure for the independence celebration. And topping the charts this week is the mother of Leah Shuaibu, who is still in captivity, begging the federal government to return her most prized jewel.
She appreciated the entire world for praying for her and her family. And she said she is here on behalf of her family, she and her husband especially, to plead with the entire world, most especially the federal government. And she pleaded with the president, the vice president, the secretary to the federal government, that they should please do whatever they can to ensure that Leah is being released.
Well, there you go. Those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week, and hopefully her cries will be heard and answered soon. But that's where we cross the finish line on this edition of the program. Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Matthias. Bye for now. But do remember, the conversation doesn't end here. It continues via the social media addresses showing on your screen.